Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about something that can completely change your English speaking forever. Thinking in English. Many English learners know grammar. They know vocabulary. They understand English while reading or listening. But when it is time to speak, they become slow, nervous, and confused. Why? Because their brain is still translating everything from their native language into English. This creates hesitation, fear, slow speaking, and lack of fluency. Native speakers do not translate before speaking. They think directly in English. And this is exactly what you must train your brain to do. The good news is this: you do not need to become perfect overnight. You can slowly train your mind to think naturally in English step by step. Everything will be explained in very simple English for beginners. So relax, focus carefully, and start training your brain to think directly in English from today. Lesson 1. Start with small English thoughts. Many English learners want to think in English, but they make the process too difficult at the beginning. They try thinking about big conversations, complicated grammar, advanced topics, or difficult situations immediately. Then their brain becomes confused and frustrated. That is why the first step is extremely important. Start with small English thoughts, simple thoughts, tiny thoughts, because fluency grows step by step. Many learners believe they must speak advanced English to improve. But native-like fluency actually begins with very simple thinking patterns. Before children speak long, complicated sentences, they first learn tiny thoughts and expressions. English learners should train the brain the same way. Your brain learns through repetition. When you repeat small English thoughts daily, the brain slowly becomes more comfortable using English naturally. At first, your thoughts may look extremely simple. That is completely normal. For example, I'm hungry. I feel tired. I need water. It's very hot today. I want to sleep. I'm going outside. These tiny sentences may feel too easy, but they are powerful training for the brain. Why? Because they teach your mind to connect English directly with daily life. This is extremely important. Many learners constantly translate from their native language because their brain still depends on translation habits. Small English thoughts help break that habit slowly. Another major mistake learners make is trying to create perfect English thoughts constantly. They worry too much about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or sounding advanced. This creates pressure. Thinking in English should feel relaxed and natural. Do not stop every second to mentally correct yourself. Simple communication matters more than perfection. Another powerful lesson is using real daily situations. Daily life is full of opportunities for English thinking practice. For example, while waking up, I need to get up now. While brushing teeth, I'm getting ready. While eating, this food tastes good. While walking, the weather feels nice today. These small moments train the brain continuously. English slowly becomes connected with real life instead of only classroom study. Consistency matters more than difficulty. Many people practice extremely hard one day, then stop for many days afterward. But language grows through regular repetition. Even small daily English thinking practice creates powerful long-term improvement. Another major problem is fear. Many learners feel embarrassed even inside their own mind. They think, my English is too basic. My sentences are wrong. I sound stupid. But this mindset slows growth. Fluency begins with simple practice. Nobody becomes fluent immediately. Every fluent speaker once started with basic English too. Another important lesson is patience. Your brain spent many years thinking in another language. Changing mental habits takes time. At first, English thoughts may feel slow, unnatural, or uncomfortable. That is normal. The brain needs repeated exposure and repetition to adapt. Do not become discouraged. Another powerful thing is speaking thoughts aloud. Thinking silently helps. But speaking thoughts aloud trains fluency much faster. Use your voice. For example, I'm making breakfast now. I need to study today. I'm feeling relaxed. This trains thinking speed, pronunciation, speaking confidence, and fluency together. Simple English spoken naturally sounds much better than difficult English spoken fearfully. Many learners focus too much on difficult vocabulary. But native speakers often use simple English during daily life. Comfort and natural flow matter greatly. Another major lesson is observation. Look around your environment and create English thoughts about what you see. For example, my room looks clean, the window is open, my phone battery is low. This trains fast English thinking connected with reality. Another important thing is emotional thoughts. Practice expressing feelings in English too. For example, I feel happy today. I'm a little stressed. I'm excited about tomorrow. This helps English become more personal and natural emotionally. The brain remembers emotional and practical language more easily. That is why real-life thoughts are extremely effective for learning. Another important lesson is avoiding over-translation. When possible, try thinking directly in English instead of first creating the sentence in your native language. At first, this feels difficult, but repeated practice slowly weakens translation habits. This is how fluent thinking develops. Another major problem is overcomplicating practice. Many learners think they need perfect study plans, difficult books, or advanced methods. But small, consistent habits are often more powerful. Tiny English thoughts repeated daily slowly transform the brain. Another important thing is enjoying the process. Do not treat English like punishment. Language is communication. It should feel alive and useful. Use English naturally during your normal life. This creates stronger learning. Another powerful lesson is self-confidence. Every small English thought is progress. Do not underestimate tiny improvement. Small mental habits create big transformation over time. Fluent thinking is not magic. It is a trained habit. The more often you think in English, the more natural English becomes inside your mind. Another major lesson is daily exposure. If English only exists during study time, improvement becomes slower. But when English becomes part of your thoughts, routines, emotions, and daily activities, fluency grows much faster. Another important thing is building automatic responses. Small repeated thoughts become automatic over time. For example, instead of translating, "I'm tired," your brain immediately thinks it naturally in English. This is how mental fluency develops. You do not need huge progress every day. You simply need repeated practice. Small daily effort changes the brain slowly. That is enough. So remember this carefully. Start with small English thoughts. Keep them simple. Use them daily. Speak them aloud confidently. Do not fear mistakes. Because small English thoughts repeated consistently can slowly transform the way your brain thinks forever. Lesson 2. Stop translating every sentence. One of the biggest reasons many English learners struggle while speaking is mental translation. Many people first think in their native language. then slowly translate everything into English inside their mind. This creates hesitation, confusion, slow speaking, and lack of confidence. The brain becomes overloaded. While speaking, learners often think, how do I say this in English? What is the correct grammar? What word should I use? Because of this, conversations feel stressful instead of natural. Native speakers do not translate before speaking. They think directly in English. That is why their speaking feels faster, smoother, and more natural. If you want fluent English, you must slowly train your brain to stop depending on translation all the time. This does not happen overnight. It happens through small daily practice. Many learners believe they cannot think in English because their vocabulary is limited. But the real problem is usually fear and overthinking. You do not need difficult English to think naturally. Simple English is enough. For example, I'm hungry. I need to study. I'm feeling tired. The weather is nice. These small thoughts train the brain step by step. At first, your mind may automatically return to your native language. That is normal. Your brain has used that language for many years. Be patient with yourself. Every small English thought weakens the translation habit little by little. Many learners also try making perfect sentences before speaking. This creates pressure. Fluent communication is not about perfect grammar every second. It is about expressing ideas comfortably and naturally. Native speakers also make small mistakes sometimes. Do not let fear stop you from using English. One powerful method is using English during daily activities. While walking, I'm going to the store. While eating, this food tastes good. While studying, I need to focus. These simple thoughts help connect English directly with real life. The brain slowly stops depending on translation because English starts feeling more natural. Listening also helps greatly. When you hear English every day, your brain becomes familiar with common patterns and expressions. Slowly, the mind starts recognizing English automatically instead of translating every word. That is why daily listening is extremely important. Many learners become frustrated because progress feels slow. But mental language habits take time to change. Do not quit too early. Every day of practice matters. The more often you think directly in English, the easier speaking becomes. Your brain slowly adapts through repetition. Speaking aloud also helps. Do not only think silently. Use your voice. For example, I need to clean my room. I'm feeling happy today. I should practice English more. This improves fluency, confidence, pronunciation, and thinking speed together. Many people stay silent too much while learning English. But speaking is physical training too. Your mouth needs practice. There is also a big difference between understanding English and producing English. Some learners understand movies or videos well, but struggle while speaking because their brain still depends on translation during communication. Thinking directly in English helps solve this problem. One helpful habit is learning complete phrases instead of isolated words. For example, instead of only memorizing hungry, learn, I'm really hungry right now. This teaches the brain natural sentence patterns. Fluency becomes easier because your brain remembers full expressions instead of building every sentence slowly from zero. Stop worrying too much about sounding advanced. Many native speakers use simple English during daily life. Simple, natural communication sounds much better than difficult English filled with hesitation and fear. The goal is comfort and clarity, not perfection. Some learners feel embarrassed practicing English thoughts alone. But this private practice is extremely powerful. No pressure, no judgment, no fear, just training your brain slowly. That creates real growth. The mind becomes stronger through repeated exposure. At first, English thinking may feel slow, uncomfortable, and unnatural. Later, it becomes easier. Then one day you suddenly notice, I'm thinking in English automatically. That transformation happens quietly through consistency. So remember this carefully. Stop translating every sentence constantly. Use simple English daily. Think directly in English. Practice during real-life situations. Do not fear mistakes, because the less your brain depends on translation, the more fluent and natural your English will become. Lesson 3. Describe your surroundings in English. One of the easiest and most powerful ways to start thinking in English is this. Describe your surroundings in English. Many learners believe they need difficult books, advanced grammar, or long conversations to improve fluency. But real improvement often begins with very small daily habits. Your surroundings are always around you. That means you always have something to practice. Look around and describe what you see in simple English. For example, my room is clean. The fan is moving fast. My phone is on the table. The weather looks cloudy today. I'm sitting near the window. These small descriptions train the brain to connect English directly with real life. This is extremely important. Many learners only use English during study time. Then, after studying, they completely return to their native language mentally. Because of this, English never becomes natural inside the brain. But when you describe your environment regularly, English slowly becomes part of daily life. That changes everything. At first, your sentences may feel simple, slow, or repetitive. That is normal. Do not pressure yourself to sound advanced. Simple English thinking is powerful training. The goal is not perfection. The goal is building mental fluency. Many learners also stop practicing because they do not know enough vocabulary. But you do not need huge vocabulary at the beginning. Use the words you already know. For example, the door is open. My bag is black. The street looks busy. I hear birds outside. These basic observations help the brain create English automatically. This improves thinking speed slowly. One powerful thing about this method is consistency. You can practice anywhere, at home, outside, at school, at work, while traveling. Every place becomes English practice. That is why this method is so effective. It creates continuous exposure. Another important benefit is reducing translation. When you repeatedly describe real objects and situations in English, the brain starts connecting English directly with reality. For example, you see a chair, and your brain starts thinking chair immediately instead of translating first. This is how natural thinking develops. Your brain slowly stops depending on translation habits. Many learners become nervous because they think too much before speaking. But describing surroundings teaches faster thinking. The brain learns how to create simple English naturally in real time. This improves speaking confidence greatly. Speaking aloud makes this exercise even stronger. Do not only think silently. Use your voice. For example, the weather feels hot today. I need to clean my desk. My coffee smells good. Speaking helps train pronunciation, fluency, confidence, and thinking speed together. Another important thing is detail. As you improve, start adding more information. Instead of saying, the room is quiet, you can say, the room is very quiet and peaceful today. Step by step, your sentences become longer naturally. This creates growth without pressure. Many learners believe fluency only comes from difficult conversation practice. But fluency actually grows through repeated simple thinking patterns. Tiny daily habits create huge long-term improvement. This exercise also improves observation skills. You become more aware of colors, sounds, movement, weather, objects, and emotions around you. Then you naturally search for English words to describe them. That strengthens vocabulary memory. Another helpful method is describing actions. For example, I'm opening the door. I'm writing in my notebook. I'm drinking water. This teaches the brain how to connect English with movement and daily activity. The more often you do this, the faster your brain responds in English. Many learners quit because they feel slow. But slow practice is normal at the beginning. Fluency develops through repetition. Every small English sentence strengthens the brain. That is why consistency matters more than speed. Another powerful thing is emotional description. Describe feelings too. For example, I feel relaxed today. I'm a little stressed. I feel excited. This makes English feel more personal and natural emotionally. Your brain learns language faster when emotions are involved. Some learners think this exercise is too basic. But basic training creates strong foundations. Even athletes practice basic movements repeatedly. Language learning works the same way. Simple repeated exercises create strong automatic habits. Another important truth is this: you do not need perfect grammar during practice. Focus on using English regularly. Confidence grows through usage. Perfection improves slowly later. This exercise also helps reduce fear during conversations. Why? Because your brain becomes more comfortable producing English naturally. The mind stops freezing so much during speaking. English begins feeling familiar instead of stressful. Many learners spend years studying English without using it during real life. That slows fluency greatly. But when English becomes connected with your room, your routine, your emotions, your environment, and your daily activities, the brain learns much faster. That is why this method is powerful. Another helpful idea is describing pictures, videos, or people around you. For example, the man is wearing a blue shirt. The child looks happy. The car is moving slowly. This improves observation and sentence creation together. Step by step, your English thinking becomes smoother and faster. You begin creating sentences more naturally without translating every word. That is real progress. So remember this carefully. Describe your surroundings in English every day. Keep sentences simple. Use real-life situations. Speak aloud confidently. Practice consistently. Because the more often your brain connects English with daily life, the more naturally you will think and speak in English. Lesson 4. Talk to yourself in English. One of the most powerful ways to improve fluency is talking to yourself in English. Many learners think speaking practice is only possible with other people. So they wait for friends, teachers, speaking partners, or perfect situations. Because of this, they practice very little. But the truth is simple. You can practice English anytime by talking to yourself. This method is extremely powerful because it trains thinking speed, speaking confidence, pronunciation, sentence building, and fluency together. Many fluent speakers practiced alone before becoming confident in conversations. Speaking to yourself removes pressure. No fear, no judgment, no embarrassment. You can practice freely. That creates confidence slowly. Many learners know English inside their mind, but freeze while speaking because they rarely use their voice. Speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth needs training. The more you speak English aloud, the easier speaking becomes. At first, talking to yourself may feel strange. That is normal. Your brain is simply adapting to a new habit. Do not feel embarrassed. This exercise is powerful because it creates active English usage every day. Another important truth is this: fluency grows through speaking, not only studying. Many learners spend years reading grammar books, memorizing vocabulary, and watching English videos, but still struggle during conversations. Why? Because passive learning alone is not enough. The brain must practice producing language too. That is why self-talk helps greatly. You can talk about anything: your daily routine, your feelings, your goals, your plans, your problems. For example, today I need to finish my work. I feel tired today. I want to improve my English. I'm thinking about my future. These simple conversations train the brain naturally. Another powerful thing about self-talk is thinking speed. When you speak regularly, the brain learns how to create English faster. At first, you may pause often. That is normal. Slowly, the pauses become smaller. Then your speaking begins flowing more naturally. This is how fluency develops. Another important lesson is confidence. Many learners fear making mistakes during conversations. But when speaking alone, mistakes become less scary. This helps reduce fear gradually. Confidence grows through repeated practice. The more comfortable you become using English alone, the easier real conversations feel later. Speaking aloud also improves pronunciation. When you hear your own voice regularly, you notice weak pronunciation, hesitation, or unclear speech. This creates self-awareness. Over time, your speaking becomes clearer and smoother. Another helpful method is talking about what you are doing during the day. For example, I'm making breakfast. I'm cleaning my room. I need to reply to this message. I'm getting ready to sleep. This connects English with real daily actions. The brain starts using English naturally during normal life. Another important thing is emotion. Do not speak like a robot. Use emotion while practicing. For example, I'm really excited today. I feel nervous about tomorrow. That made me happy. Emotional speaking sounds more natural and improves communication skills greatly. Many learners also struggle because they try using very difficult English too early. Keep your self-talk simple. Simple English repeated daily is much more powerful than difficult English practiced rarely. Do not pressure yourself to sound perfect. Focus on comfort and consistency. Another powerful exercise is imaginary conversation practice. Pretend you are speaking with someone. For example, what did you do today? Oh, today was very busy. I practiced English and watched a movie. This helps prepare the brain for real conversations. It trains fast thinking and natural response patterns. Another important truth is this: your brain becomes stronger through repetition. The more often you speak English aloud, the more natural it feels. Daily speaking slowly removes fear and hesitation. Many learners feel shy hearing their own English voice. But avoiding your voice slows progress. Your voice is part of your learning journey. Accept mistakes. Accept imperfect pronunciation. Accept slow progress. That is completely normal. Another helpful habit is recording yourself. Speak for 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes about any topic. Then listen carefully. You will notice improvement areas, pronunciation issues, and speaking habits. This helps growth greatly. Another important lesson is consistency. You do not need huge speaking sessions every day. Even 10 or 15 minutes of self-talk daily creates powerful long-term improvement. Small, repeated practice changes the brain slowly. Another powerful thing is freedom. When talking to yourself, you can repeat sentences, pause, correct mistakes, and experiment freely. There is no pressure. That creates a safe learning environment. Many learners improve faster when they stop fearing mistakes constantly. Fear blocks fluency. Relaxed practice builds fluency. Fluent speakers are usually comfortable using English daily. Comfort comes from repeated usage. That is why daily self-talk matters so much. Another major lesson is patience. At first, your English may feel slow, basic, or unnatural. That is part of growth. Every fluent speaker once struggled too. Do not quit because progress feels invisible. Your brain is adapting quietly through repetition. Another important thing is making English part of your daily life. Self-talk helps English become natural instead of something used only during study time. This creates stronger mental fluency. The more English becomes connected with your thoughts, emotions, routines, and daily experiences, the more naturally your brain uses English. So remember this carefully. Talk to yourself in English every day. Use simple English. Speak aloud confidently. Practice without fear. Stay consistent. Because the more often you use your English voice, the more fluent and natural your speaking will become. Lesson 5. Listen to English daily. You want to think in English naturally. You must hear English every day. Many learners try speaking more, but they do not spend enough time listening. Because of this, English still feels unfamiliar, fast, and difficult inside the brain. The truth is simple. Your brain learns language through repeated exposure. Native speakers became fluent because they heard English constantly since childhood. They listened every day, at home, in school, on television, with friends, and during daily life. Slowly, their brain learned pronunciation, rhythm, sentence patterns, and natural expressions automatically. That is why listening is extremely important for fluency. The more English you hear, the more natural English begins feeling. Many learners struggle because English only exists during study time. After studying, they completely return to their native language environment. This slows mental fluency, but daily listening keeps English active inside the brain. Even short listening practice helps greatly. For example, podcasts, conversations, interviews, audiobooks, YouTube videos, movies. You do not need perfect understanding immediately. Many learners become frustrated because they cannot understand every word. That is normal. Do not stop because listening feels difficult at first. Your brain needs time to adapt to English sounds. Focus on understanding the main idea first. Understanding grows slowly through repetition. Many learners also make the mistake of listening passively. They play English in the background but never truly focus. Real improvement happens when you listen carefully. Notice pronunciation, speaking speed, emotion, connected words, and sentence patterns. Pay attention to how native speakers really talk. This helps your own speaking become more natural too. Listening also improves pronunciation automatically. The brain copies sounds it hears repeatedly. When you hear natural English every day, your pronunciation slowly improves too. You begin noticing how words connect, how stress changes meaning, and how natural rhythm works. This is very important for sounding fluent. One powerful habit is repeating after native speakers. Listen to short sentences and copy them aloud. For example, "That sounds great. I'm really excited today. What are you doing?" Repeat with the same tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. This trains your ears and mouth together. Many learners understand English better than they can speak because they rarely practice using their voice. Listening plus speaking creates stronger fluency. Consistency matters greatly too. Listening once a week is not enough. Daily exposure creates real improvement. Even 20 or 30 minutes every day can completely change your English over time. Small repeated practice is powerful. Choose English content you enjoy. For example, funny videos, motivational content, stories, interviews, podcasts about your interests. Enjoyable listening increases consistency. The brain learns faster when learning feels interesting. Listening also helps reduce translation. When your brain hears English repeatedly, common patterns become familiar. Slowly, you stop translating every sentence because English begins feeling more automatic. That is how natural thinking develops. Some learners fear listening without subtitles. Subtitles can help in the beginning, but slowly challenge yourself to listen more without reading constantly. This strengthens listening ability faster. Listening during daily activities is helpful too. You can listen while walking, exercising, cleaning, cooking, or traveling. Small listening moments throughout the day create huge long-term improvement. Many learners quit too early because progress feels slow, but listening skills develop quietly. One day you suddenly notice, "I understand much more now." That improvement comes from repeated exposure over time. The brain is always learning through listening, even when progress feels invisible. Listening daily also improves confidence. When English sounds become familiar, conversations feel less scary. The brain becomes more comfortable with the language. That reduces hesitation during speaking. You do not need perfect listening skills immediately. You simply need regular exposure. Little by little, your brain becomes stronger. So remember this carefully. If you want to think in English naturally, listen to English every day. Listen carefully. Repeat what you hear. Stay patient. Stay consistent. Because the more English enters your ears, the more naturally English will enter your mind. Lesson 6. Learn common English phrases. Many learners study single vocabulary words for years, but still struggle during real conversations. Why? Because native speakers often use complete phrases instead of isolated words. For example, "I'm looking forward to it." That makes sense. "I have no idea, no worries." These expressions appear again and again in daily English. Learning full phrases helps your brain think faster because you do not need to build every sentence slowly from zero. Your brain begins remembering patterns naturally. This improves fluency, confidence, and speaking speed. Practice useful daily phrases repeatedly until they feel automatic. Simple, repeated expressions create natural communication. Lesson 7. Use English during daily activities. One of the best ways to think in English is using English during normal daily life. Many learners only practice English during study time. Then, after studying, they completely stop using English mentally. This slows fluency greatly. Turn your daily routine into English practice. While cooking, I'm making breakfast. While walking, I'm going to the market. While cleaning, my room looks much better now. These small moments train the brain continuously. English slowly becomes connected with real life instead of only textbooks. Small daily exposure creates powerful long-term improvement. Lesson 8. Stop fearing mistakes. Fear is one of the biggest enemies of fluency. Many learners stay silent because they fear grammar mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, or embarrassment. Because of this, the brain becomes nervous during speaking. The truth is simple. Mistakes are part of learning. Every fluent English speaker once made mistakes too. You do not become fluent by waiting silently for perfect English. You become fluent through repeated practice. Speak even if your English is imperfect. Small daily speaking practice builds confidence slowly. The more you speak, the less fear controls you. Lesson 9. Practice daily consistency. Fluency is not built in one day. It grows through daily repetition. Many learners practice very hard for 1 or 2 days, then stop for a long time. This slows progress. Small, consistent practice works much better. Even 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes daily can create huge improvement over time. The brain learns through repeated exposure. Daily English practice keeps the language active inside your mind. Consistency is more powerful than perfection. Lesson 10. Make English part of your life. The fastest learners usually make English part of their lifestyle. They listen daily, think daily, read daily, and speak daily. English becomes part of normal life instead of only a school subject. This changes the brain completely. The more often you use English during real life, the more natural it becomes. Watch English videos, listen to podcasts, read simple English books, speak English during daily activities. Little by little, your brain begins accepting English naturally. That is how real fluency develops. Not through stress, but through repeated daily exposure and practice. Thinking in English can completely change your fluency. Stop translating constantly. Use simple English daily. Speak without fear. Practice small English thoughts regularly. Remember, your brain becomes stronger through repetition. The more you think in English, the more naturally you will speak English. If this video helped you, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful English learning lessons. And remember, fluent English begins inside the mind first.